The Les 5150 Podcast begins now. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 22. Welcome. Hope everybody's had a great week. Sorry, the podcast is coming out on Sunday. I know I said it would come out yesterday. Yesterday, I was busy changing some stuff on the internet. I've had an ear infection. I've been dealing with that. So I'm better. I'm doing better. I'm starting to feel a little bit normal now. If I remember what normal is. I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's been a great week, man. Last podcast, we talked a little bit about Call of Duty versus Battlefield. So don't forget, you can go check out that video. By the way, just a quick update on Battlefield 1. I'm still loving it. My official score for that game is a 9.5. I'm not going to give anything a 10, but that game is about as perfect as that game is almost perfect. You know, I mean, wow. Let's see, Battlefield 1, Star Trek Online, The Witcher 3, probably my three favorite games in the last, year and a half I've played. Those are my top. Oh, and Uncharted 4. I liked Uncharted 4 a lot as well. And Madden 17 was pretty good, but not as good as the games I just mentioned. Speaking of video gaming, huge announcement this week from Nintendo. They announced their new console. It's called Nintendo Switch. And some people on board, some people not on board. I wasn't on board. I started reading more about it. I'm like kind of in the middle because I've bought the last two Nintendo consoles, the Wii and the Wii U. And the Wii was fine. Nothing wrong with it. The Wii U was not everything I thought it would be when me and my wife sat down and watched all the trailers for it. And we did all the research for it. And we said, oh, this would be awesome. And it's not like it was misleading or anything. It's just, you know how like a commercial or something can make something seem a million times better than what it was. And that's what it was. I literally thought we could go to one end of the house and play the Wii U on the gamepad. And yeah, it's not the case. And the battery life in that thing is not the greatest. But anyway, so Nintendo Switch came out. I was live streaming at the time of the announcement, but I went back and watched all the videos. I've researched this thing. I've wanted to hate this thing. And the reason I wanted to hate it is because I feel like kind of let down by the Wii and the Wii U. Like there's no support there. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like I don't know. Like right now, we can't even use the Wii U gamepad because it keeps saying it can't connect to the console. So it's like the Wii U is pretty much useless to us right now, which is pretty sad because there's games that we actually are interested in playing, like, you know, Mario Maker, which we've played a lot of, and a few others, but it's just, it's upsetting to know we can't play it at all. Because there's an issue with an update that messed up where they can't connect. But anyway, so Switch is announced. And at first, let's just go over it. Let's go over the Switch, and then I'll tell you my thoughts, and we'll go from there. So Nintendo Switch came out, and for everybody listening on iTunes and SoundCloud, if you watch it on the YouTube video, I am going to include pictures in the YouTube. Simply because I can put visual stuff on the YouTube. I can't on the podcast. So if you guys are interested in checking out the visual stuff, just watch it on YouTube or listen to it on YouTube or watch and listen. If you can do two things at once, that's awesome. Me, I can't. But anyway, all right, Nintendo Switch. Now, everything I've been reading about this is not, if I go into this with open mind, it's not bad, to be honest with you. It's on the same level as the PlayStation 4. It definitely, the specs blow away the Wii U. Blows it out of the water. Completely different console. But that's if these specs are true. I don't know how true they are. At this point, everything's just kind of rumored. There's not even a price point, which we'll get in that in a minute. So let's talk about it. It's a console that has a tablet. You kind of think of the Wii U gamepad. It has a Wii U gamepad that slides into it, but it's not a Wii U gamepad. It's something different. It's almost like a tablet. It slides into the home base, and you can play your games like you normally would, like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. You can play them on your TV, and then you decide you want to leave and go somewhere. You just slide the tablet out of the home base, and you take it with you. And it's got these little controllers on the side. They call them JoyCon controllers. And this is cool, but this is one of the things I hate. There's a controller on the left side and the right side. They both slide off. So, like, if me and my wife were sitting there wanting to play a game together, we could. But the controllers are itty bitty. They're little. Like, and then you're playing on that little screen. I understand about being portable. You can only you want to keep everything real. You don't want to carry a TV around. I get that. But the iPad screen, it looks like, might be bigger. Now, I haven't compared them because I don't have one to compare it to. Like I said, there's specs released, but they're just rumored at this point. We don't know what's true or not because Nintendo hadn't even really released anything. So you can play it at home on the TV, or you can play it by itself on the go. The console part that hooks to the TV is called the Nintendo Switch dock, and that's where it plays just like a PS4, Xbox One. You can instantly walk up to the dock and pull that switch out and just leave. And there's no waiting or anything. It's supposed to be an instant hot switch. No pun intended there. And like I said, the JoyCon controllers detach and they become standalone wireless controllers. But for those of you that don't really care about the portability thing, you're sitting at home playing it, you can use a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which looks very similar to an Xbox controller, which I love the way the offsetting thumbsticks. I love that. PlayStation 4's controller, they're straight across from one another, and so is the Wii U's Pro controller. There's, the thumbsticks are right across from each other. I don't like that design. I've never liked that design at all. There's a kickstand as well for the tablet part. So you can stand it up, you can set it up and stand it up on a table, and you're sitting at the kitchen playing, and you can pull the Joy-Cons out and play it, or whatever you want to do. And it doesn't take discs. It's cartridge based. So we're kind of going into the future in some ways here, but we're going backwards to the cartridges, which I guess saves money. You don't have to, play DVDs. You don't have to print them on DVDs or Blu-rays, which that might be a bad thing because people like to use these Xbox Ones and these PlayStation 4s as their Blu-ray players. Myself, I do that. We have two PlayStation 4s, one in my office, one downstairs. It doubles as a Blu-ray player downstairs. Ours is a gaming console as well. So this might be bad. And I'll say might, okay? They don't know if it's backwards compatible with any old Nintendo games. I would hope so, to be honest with you. And it looks like the cartridge size is like a 3DS-like cartridge. That would be cool if you could play 3DS cartridges on the Nintendo Switch. That would be a big selling point. If Nintendo come out and said, hey, this thing is backwards compatible with Wii games, Wii U games, and this and that, which I guess you really wouldn't be able to do the backwards compatibility with the Wii and Wii U games because they're disc-based unless you just did them digital. So I guess there is kind of a hang up there. So I guess that kind of, honestly, that might just eliminate the whole backwards thing. I'm just saying this. This is me talking. I'm not reading this. I'm just sitting here thinking about it. But if it could possibly play the 3DS cartridges, possibly, I don't know. In the commercial for the Switch, they showed off the new Legend of Zelda. They showed Skyrim, a Splatoon, Mario Kart, Super Mario, and NBA basketball. Now, they didn't say what NBA game it was. The only one that's out right now is NBA 2K17, which, there's two NBA Live 16, but figure they show a new game, not an old game. And it also looks like they have a lot of development partners on board. And some of the partners that have been mentioned is Activision, EA, Capcom, Ubisoft, I believe. I've seen their name out there. I mean, that's just a bunch of the bigger ones that are on board. Now, this thing, the specs are supposed to be very similar to PlayStation 4. Okay. Warner Brothers. Oh, by the way, I'm sitting here looking at the list. It loaded. Sega, Warner Brothers, Telltale Games. Who else? Havoc, Activision. If I already mentioned them, sorry. Capcom, Konami. So yeah, Square Enix. I mean, there's a lot of them. THQ Nordic. Looks like they got a bunch of people on board, which is good. They need the partners. They really do. It's powered by an NVIDIA Tegra processor. Now, I don't know what you could compare that to, because like I said, they haven't released the specs. So basically, let's recap what we just talked about. Basically, the Nintendo Switch is a console that you can hook up to your TV. You can play games just like you would the Xbox One or the PS4. If you then decide, I have to leave and go somewhere, I have to go to the bathroom, I have to go downstairs or go upstairs, or I have to go across the house to another room, I want to still play because I'll be able to do something different, just still play the game. You can walk up to the console and slide the Switch tablet out and go wherever you want and still play the game instantly and not lose your progress. I imagine it would go to a soft pause screen in case you're in the middle of a battle or something, but I imagine most people would probably get to a stopping point and go, hey, this is a good point for me to pull out the Switch and walk away and go do something else. So, it's cartridge based. It uses cartridges. There's controllers with it on the left and the right side of the tablet. They're called JoyCon Controllers. They're really small. And there's a Nintendo Switch Pro controller for when you're sitting on the couch playing. Oh, by the way, I don't know much about this part of the controller, but there's a bigger controller that you take the two little ones and you combine it, and it makes a huge it makes a huge controller. So I'll post pictures and stuff so you guys can see it. That controller looks pretty silly to me, I'll be honest. That big controller where the left and the right combine together with something else, and it makes one big. It looks like, yeah, it looks like a big square with thumbsticks. I will be honest, the design of this thing, I don't like. I don't like the color coordinate. They could have did the different colors, man. They could have went old school and made light gray and red, kind of a salute to the original NES. I don't like the colors. I don't like the way it looks. The controllers are goofy looking. I don't like the controllers. But anyway, so we just did the recap. Now let me give my opinion on this thing. I like certain things about it. Dislike certain things about it. You just heard me. I complained about the controllers. I don't like the controllers. And the tablet deal. Listen. I play games at least 5-6 hours a day on the One or the PS4 or on my PC. When I'm not up here in my office doing podcasts or live streaming or making YouTube videos, if I'm downstairs, I'm not really going to be playing a whole lot of games, honestly. I may take my PC downstairs with me, my laptop, I mean. Because it's a gaming laptop. I'll take it with me downstairs and I'll play something like Star Trek Online. I don't really see, after the experience with the Wii and the Wii U, I really don't see me playing it, honestly, because I have an iPad. The iPhone 7 Plus is remarkable in games. My PC can run, really, good games. I just don't see it. They're going to have to really sell it to me, and it's going to have to be a good selling price, because I'll be honest, if it's more than $300, probably going to pass. And people will be like, "You're crazy. It's portable." But I just mentioned I already have portable stuff. I really, they're really going to have to say, "Oh, less," but it can play any Nintendo game that's ever came out. Then I'd be like, "Oh, wait a minute. It can play 3DS games. Oh, wait a minute." Then I might say, "Oh, okay." This might be cool. And it said if it came out with something like if you can scan a barcode on the back of your game, and or I don't know, somehow you can prove that you own these games for the Wii and the Wii U, these disc games, and it gives you a free digital download of the game. You know, that would be cool. Kind of like if you own an Xbox 360 game, you can play it on Xbox One. If they figured out a way to do that, it might be a huge selling point to me. And I'd be like, we could get rid of the Wii U and just play all the Wii U games on the Nintendo Switch. That would be a selling point. I just don't see that happening. I don't. I think if you go above, because you can get a PS3 and a Xbox 360 for under $300. You can get an Xbox One S and a PS4 for about $399. And with the holidays coming up, a lot of people are going to be getting a lot more Xbox Ones and PS4s. Nintendo Switch doesn't come out till March of 2017. So they're already behind. And that's what sucks for them. They come into this ball game, and here's the thing, people. You can go buy the Switch if you want it. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. But remember, the Scorpio comes out in 2017 as well. And this Scorpio is supposed to be a game changer. No pun intended. It's supposed to be the game changer. It's supposed to be the end of all consoles with this thing. I mean, the way they're making it out, it's like, this is it. This is the end. Ain't nobody going to top the Scorpio. That's the way they're selling this thing. I'm excited to see that. That's what I'm looking forward to, is a Scorpio. But anyway, so I think if you go above 350 on the Switch, oh man, 300, 350, right there would be the sell. That would be the price point right there. If you go anything above 350, I just don't see it selling well. And people are like, but it's portable, Les. So was the PlayStation Vita. And we've seen how that turned out. Okay? Once again, suckered into buying a PS Vita, a Wii U. Both of them, you could go play gaming on the go. So, you're going to have to sell me hard on this Switch. Nintendo's going to have to, the price point's going to have to be good. There's going to have to be some backwards compatibility in it. I mean, because if they say, oh, but you can play Skyrim and you can play Red Dead Redemption 2 on it. Okay, so why should I justify buying that console, another console, when I already have the PS4, an Xbox One S? I already have mobile gaming with my laptop, my phone, and my iPad. How can you convince me to buy the Switch when I already have what I just talked about? And all they can say is, but it can play this game. So I can play it on my One or my PS4. And there's some games, I think Sony let it leak out a little bit. Some games, like PS4 games, you'll be able to play on your phones. Wow, that's going to be crazy. I know F1 2016 is coming to the iPhone 7 Plus. And I guess it's coming to other phones too. But they're really going to have to make a huge selling point or something on this thing, because so far it looks cool, and I will admit it looks cool. It's cool. It's but not enough to make me go, okay, I'll buy it. Not enough to make me go buy it. Some of the rumored specs. Let's talk about the rumored specs. 4-ARM Cortex A57 cores, max 2 gigahertz. NVIDIA 2nd generation Maxwell architecture. Now, I don't know how true this is, because this thing right here says, one of the things it says is a definite is an NVIDIA Tegra processor. So, okay, so I don't really know if that's, I don't know. Anyway, 256 good cores, 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, USB 2.0 and 3.0. I do know that part right there is true, because they did come out and say that. Here's something, 1280 by 726.2 IPS LCD. That's about the same size of the Wii U screen, isn't it? I don't know. I never measured it. 1080p at 60 frames per second, or 4K at 30 frames per second max video output. Ooh. People will make a big deal about that last spec, I promise you. People will make a big deal about that. They will make a huge deal about that. So here's my question is, on the portable thing, on the portable part, what's the battery life like? Is it 3 hours, 4 hours? I imagine running this kind of power, and to be as powerful as a PS4 handheld unit that's portable, it'd have to be pretty powerful. And how would it cool? Because it doesn't look that big. How would it cool? I would imagine the battery life is not very good in that thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking maybe 3-4 hours. I'm guessing hardcore gaming at that kind of power. But I do remember somebody saying something about it runs a higher power when it's connected to the console or to its dock, and when it's portable, it runs on less power. So does that mean like you go from 60 to 30? Or see, this is where they need to come out with the specs. And them not saying anything about the specs or even releasing anything like that, I think is a bad note. That's bad. Because maybe I just don't think it's good, because when Nintendo and Xbox One came out or released statements, I'm pretty sure they released the specs, because it was like a all-out spec war at that E3. It was like, oh, tech war, this can do this, and this can do this, and this can't do this, but all right. So there's my thing about it. I mean, I'm not sold on it yet. I think it's a cool idea, but they need to release more information about it. Maybe around Christmas time, maybe after Christmas, they'll release some more information. March, technically, not too far down the road. I know people are like, look, you're crazy. And after next weekend, it's going to be November. So technically, yeah, it's what, 4 months away? 5 months, I mean. It's a lot closer than it was 3 months ago. So, and 3 months ago, we didn't really know anything other than this thing was called the NX. So, we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. And I'll do a follow-up podcast when we get some more information, legit information. I'll do another follow-up podcast on this, and we'll go from there. But, on that note, I'm going to thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for hanging out. Comment in the sections below if you'd like, and we'll talk about it. We can get more into it. If I've said something wrong about the Switch, please tell me, and I will fix it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you guys for hanging out on the Twitch stream, which you can go watch at twitch.tv/Les5150EVH. You can follow me on Twitter at Les5150. You can also find me on YouTube, youtube.com/C/Les5150EVH. It's been fun. It's been real. I'm Les5150, and I'm out of here. We'll see you guys. Have a great, 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 great day. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.